Hi, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about the cost of living in Philadelphia. How much does it cost to live in Philadelphia? I don't know. Let's find out. I'm going to be going over housing costs, utilities, food, taxes, and transportation, as well as I'll include how much I spend on living in Philadelphia based on a family of 5. So let's find out. Stay tuned. Housing. Now, housing is a biggie. Housing, you could still find homes for less than $300,000 in Philadelphia. Obviously, it is a lot more comparable if you can see the pros and cons video. If you haven't seen the pros and cons video of living in Philadelphia, I did mention that we are considered more affordable than most other major cities such as New York, Washington, D.C., Boston, possibly LA or Chicago. We're pretty affordable. And a lot of people like to move to Philadelphia because of the ease it brings to be able to get to New York and Washington, within other parts in between like Delaware, New Jersey, or Maryland in a quick amount of time. So, but a lot of people also, and it's pretty affordable, but also it can be pretty expensive to live here. Now, historically, the median sales prices has been increasing over time. So homes are getting more expensive in Philadelphia, but it's going up at a steady rate. And the median sales price is $225,000 for quarter one, 2020 quarter one, and that's pretty affordable for a regular 3-bedroom, 1-bath home. And rents have also been increasing as well. As of June 2019, the median rent has been $1,614 per month. That's the average tenant to be able to purchase a home, to rent a home in Philadelphia. Now, my rent now I still rent, and we are renting, and I'm in a family of 5. That includes me, myself, my husband, and our 3 children. And our children are pretty younger, under the age of 9. He's going to be 9 this year. I can't believe it. But under the age of 9, it's a family of 5, and we're living in a 3-bedroom, 1-bath home in the northern part of Philadelphia. We're not necessarily in the heart of North Philly, but we are in a port in like kind of the almost touching northeast Philadelphia. And what we pay is, well, when we first moved here, we've been here for about 4 years now, and we moved in at towards the end, early 2016, and we paid $950 for our in rent for our home that we're living in now. And our rent has, per our landlord contract, our lease agreement, is $10 per year. So every year we're locked in for an additional year, and our rent goes up to $10 per year. But our landlord's pretty reasonable, so so every time when we tried to move out and we decided to change our minds, we locked into another lease, and we would pay. So right now our rent went up twice, so we're really paying $970 per month. Now we're at utilities. Utilities as of May 2019, the average monthly utility bill is $145.61. And that's for one bill. Now, if you include, now if you add heating, that can possibly either be gas or electric, for a heating source, electric as well by itself, internet, cable, and water, obviously that can increase. So going over the numbers, but when you add all those other sources, you could possibly be spending between either $350 to $400 per month in utilities. Now for heating, obviously the heating could be either gas or electric, or even oil as well. Electric is the most expensive utility cost because it powers everything. It powers your essential air. It powers any, like if you cook with it, if you have a stove that's electric powered, you have your lights, and what else uses electricity? Computers. A lot is based on electricity, and it tends to, obviously that bill does go up. And gas, which is the most affordable gas source. Gas is the most affordable, where it doesn't cost as much. And of course you can be able to gauge it and monitor it. Obviously during the winter months, now in Philly, we sometimes go through season. Sometimes some years we would have either not really have a winter, where our winter months is considered between mid-November to mid-March, and when we say winter, it would get really cold, and we also have snow as well. So, but some years it can be mild, and in recent years temperatures have been in the milder side. Of course we do get our cold spells, but sometimes like our temperatures go really crazy, like from like one extreme to the next. It could be really cold next, like one day, and then it could be really hot like a few days later. And our heating is and then also oil, which, I mean, oil is not necessarily a lot. There's some homes that are powered by oil heat, but not a lot. Most people had converted to natural gas. Our natural gas, our home is heated by natural gas, and that is serviced by PGW, which is also known as Philadelphia Gas Works. And our average gas bill is somewhere within like, I guess like 100, not 100, like $70 per month, just on average. That's how much on an average. Obviously it goes up and down. During the winter months, obviously it goes higher into possibly the hundreds. We don't spend no more than $200 per month on the bill. But of course, if it gets really cold, when it's really cold, the gases, we turn up the heat, obviously. And in those summer months, we're not cooking as much, so our bill goes down drastically to like $20 a month during the summer months. And so that's for heating. And cable, electric is also pretty expensive. I think I pay for electric, and we don't have central air, but we have regular air conditioners. We have our lights, and our computers that powers our electric TVs. We pay probably around $120 per month for electric, and we try to monitor it, obviously. Now obviously that's the most expensive bill. For cable and internet, now depending on what provider you use, you can get in on the introductory offer and get like $70, but we don't pay for cable. We only use internet to stream, and we use the internet to stream everything. We don't have a cable box. We don't have Comcast. No, we just have Verizon Fios. So with the internet, we just get everything off of it. We do everything by the internet. So, and our bill is roughly about, for just streets internet, and now we came in at like $70 as our introductory offer, but I never called back to try and get a cheaper bill. So now my bill is $100 because we've been customers with them for a long time, for Fios for a while. So our bill kind of went up, and I never called the company to try and work something out. I should do that. Okay, and water lastly is water for utilities. Now the average bill for water is $70.84 per month, and if you're renting, you're not going to have that water bill in your name. The water bill is going to be in the landlord's name because that's a lienable item, and landlords, they either want their tenant, they will probably pay for water, but most landlords, they have the tenants pay. We pay a flat fee of $65 per month for water, and and that's included in our rent payment. That's $970 plus $65, which is so we try to keep our costs pretty low. Our landlord hasn't asked us to increase our payment for water. We don't be excessive with our water. So we just always pay $65 ever since we moved in this home. Now, so obviously, those are my costs for utilities. I could definitely try and trim off the sides where it comes to our internet bill and our gas bill. However, for gas, just even as on another note, the home that I live in is pretty old. Most of the homes in Philadelphia were built in the 1920s, and these homes are pushing 100 years old. There are younger homes, obviously, in the city, but they're kind of scattered around if you're going into the newer neighborhoods, such as if you're going into Northeast Philadelphia. There are a lot of younger homes that were built in the 1950s and 60s, but most of the homes in Philadelphia are pushing 100 years old. I think this home is basically this home was built in 1930 or 1940. And there's still, even though our home has been rehabbed, they didn't change a lot of the stuff to keep the home more efficient. And what I mean by is our house is not necessarily properly insulated. Most of the windows in this home are pretty old, and they look pretty original. So of course, drafts get in, and the door, and also our front door, is not necessarily insulated completely. It's better than some other homes. I grew up in a house where our door was pretty old, and I remember that every time it gets cold, we would have to put blankets or towels by the door to keep the draft from coming in, and put plastic over the windows to keep the house insulated. So and that's how a lot of these homes are in Philadelphia. So obviously, if you want to keep your costs down, make sure the house is properly insulated and has better windows. I can't or and have good windows, and a lot of newer homes are and people are also updating their homes to make them more energy efficient, and obviously you can get energy efficient bulbs and light bulbs and appliances to help keep down the costs. So that's utilities. Moving on to food. Now, the average monthly minimum that a family could buy on food is $424.84 compared to the national average, which is $324.43. Our food is pretty expensive. Now, another reason why our food can be pretty expensive is in Philadelphia. We also have in Philadelphia County, we are subject to the beverage tax, aka the soda tax, where if you and I'll cover this in my taxes section of this video, but if you check out my previous video on pros and cons, I did go into a little bit of detail as to what the soda tax is. But anyway, if you don't want to click out, here's the soda tax in a very brief form. The soda tax is basically if you want to buy a soda or a sweetened drink, other than water or naturally sweet drinks, you're going to be paying a tax on top of what you're already paying for. So that's why our food prices could be a little bit higher. And sometimes, as well as in some places of the city, there are food deserts. So, I mean, if you go to a local, we do have a lot of grocery stores, but some of those grocery stores can be more expensive. And what I mean by the grocery stores is the corner stores, where you may not get everything that you need at a regular ShopRite or Giant or Acme, where there is the big box grocery store, but you have this little small mom and pop grocery stores, like right at the corner, where you can just get milk, bread, ketchup, anything from those stores. And those prices could be a little bit pricey. So, and not everybody is able to go out to be able to travel to where those grocery stores are. So I mean, our food can be pretty expensive, but there's also ways of definitely cutting down, obviously. Now, most people, they do leave the city limits to go and shop outside of the city limits to purchase their drinks and as well as their food, to take advantage of sales, and also to get better access to better quality food, obviously. Now, for eating out, you could spend about $15 on average for an inexpensive meal. Yeah, McDonald's is pretty high. I mean, you could spend like over $5 on a meal at McDonald's for a regular size meal, and on top of that, the soda tax in Philadelphia. So that's pretty inexpensive. Geno's, now for cheesesteaks. Now this is a fun fact. We're gonna go over cheesesteaks, the price of a cheesesteak. Geno's Steaks, which is also known as a tourist spot, keep that in mind. Their steaks are $9.25. Whereas if you go to a local corner store where your family, like if you have family that lives in Philadelphia, or if you know people that live in Philadelphia, they got their spots where they like to get their cheesesteaks from, more locally, if you can't go to Geno's in South Philly, or a pizza place, and you could get a cheesesteak for between $5 to $9+, depending on the size and what their pricing is. Like, you can get cheesesteaks as like really long cheesesteaks, But the Geno's cheesesteaks is like this big. They're not very big, but they want a lot of money for it, which is not cost efficient. However, keep in mind Geno's and Pat's, which is in South Philly, and they're directly across the street from each other. And you have Pat's over here, and you have Geno's over here and Pat's over here, and they basically, people come and they pay $9.25 for a cheesesteak. The prices probably went up by now, but anyway, people pay those prices because it's a tourist attraction. You may not be getting that much, but you're also paying for basically who's making it as well. Now, for our family, the average price that we spend, now I'm going off of every 2 weeks, is $130, and that's for a family of 5. To go in further, that's because we do a lot of bulk shopping. We don't go to Costco. We don't really have a Costco near here in the Philadelphia area. The closest Costco is in King of Prussia and Montgomeryville, and those are obviously in the suburbs. We do have BJ's and PJP, which is a local wholesale store where you can get items in bulk. That's PJP, and BJ's is also it's also like a Costco, but we don't shop at those places. We shop at the local grocery store. We shop at ShopRite, Acme, and Giant, and I can normally get our bill to like be $130 every 2. Well, at least that's my budget is, and that's on like everything with meat and other stuff included as well. We tend to, now with Corona, obviously prices have definitely gone up when it comes to meat and eggs, but we also can get free food from the school district. My oldest is a student of the school district of Philadelphia, and we get a box of food from them once a week for each child, and each box of food is good for 5 days, as well as a quart of milk. So since we have 3, we come home with 3 boxes and 3 things of milk. Now, some days it doesn't last that long, and some days it does last. But Philadelphia is pretty good with the school meals program. They don't. All 3 of my children, they go to school during the day, so they don't during the school year. So I don't have to pack any food for them. As if somebody was to be, obviously my average price would go up if I was packing meals for 3 children each day, and as well as providing breakfast. So obviously that's where my costs have been cut, and that's why my cost is pretty low for a resident of Philadelphia. Here are taxes. Now, taxes in Philadelphia can range. We have special taxes in Philly. Okay, so here we go. For taxes, the average effective property tax rate is 0.98%, which is lower than Allegheny County, which is all the way on the other side of the state of Pennsylvania, and that is Pittsburgh. That's probably where Pittsburgh is in Allegheny County. Our flat income tax rate is 3.07%. Our municipal local earned income tax is 3.891%. Special taxes. So besides that, we also have the soda tax, which I had explained before. Sugary drinks, you get extra you get taxed in Philadelphia County. And we also have an 8% sales tax in Philadelphia County, whereas if you go out anywhere in the state is 6%. And our 8% sales tax is about pretty equal to New York's, which is 8.875%. But we are lower than Chicago at a whopping 10.25%. Taxes, it is what it is. Now, transportation, some extra stuff is our transportation. The average price of a gallon of gas in Philadelphia is $2.89 per gallon. Now, you can, for gas, there are obviously, you can obviously shop around for gas stations, but for somebody that doesn't really know Philadelphia, where you could get cheaper gas is Wawa, which tends to be about 10 to 15 cents off of other major brands such as Sunoco. Shell tends to be more expensive, but there is Sunoco and Luke Oil where their prices are a little bit higher. But Wawa is where if you're really in a pinch, you could, and you want to pay less for a gallon of gas, and also get get snacks as well and food from Wawa, and get your cigarettes and coffee. You could go to Wawa, where their prices are definitely about a few cents cheaper. Now, the average cost to live for a family of 4 to live in Philadelphia and to live comfortably is about $85,000. That's how much it will cost if you want to live comfortably. That's comfortably in Philadelphia. Now, I also have another number, whereas you can also live comfortably in Philadelphia is $52,569. That's how much it will cost to live in this area in Philadelphia. That's just for an average person. Obviously, if you make more, great. But of course, you can, for somebody to live off of $50,000 to live in Philadelphia, you could definitely stretch the money, obviously, and be able to cut corners to be able to save on your costs in Philadelphia. There is also state programs that people can to help with their electric bills, which is LIHEAP. That's through the Pennsylvania State Department, where you can get grants for your electric bill and gas bill. Now, I did not say this in my utilities video, but water in Philadelphia County is serviced by Philadelphia Waterworks, whereas in the counties is serviced by Aqua, and gas is serviced in Philadelphia County by PGW. Electric is serviced solely by PECO. However, when you go out into the counties, gas and electric is serviced by PECO. So that's basically it. So if you want to live in Philadelphia, you could live as cheaply as $52,000 to live comfortably, to live in Philadelphia. Now living affordably, that $82,000, that's, to me, I feel like that's if you want to live more downtown, you want to live in a higher price area, or even if you want to live in the suburbs. However, it's pretty affordable. Philadelphia is pretty affordable compared to other major cities in the nation. And as a lot of people like to move here, a lot of people are moving here from New York because our cost of living is so much cheaper. And if you work in New York or even in DC, you could work in DC and New York and get the benefits of the pay out in those areas, and live in Philadelphia, where you can benefit on the cheaper cost of living. That's why a lot of people like to move to Philadelphia. Now, so that's it. That's how much it costs to live in Philadelphia. And if you made it this far in this video, thank you for watching it, for one. And also, comment below and also like and subscribe. And if you'd like to see another video from me, don't forget, obviously, to subscribe, as well as to click the notification bell below so that you can receive notifications on when I post another video. I post videos, new videos every week, so don't miss out. That's all I gotta say. Don't miss out, and tell your friends. So if you're also planning on moving to Philadelphia, contact me, and tell your friends to contact me as well. They're thinking about moving to Philly. Share this video if you care, and I would be more than happy to help you find your next home in Philadelphia. So until the next video, see you then.